Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers preview and prediction for this Thursday night Week 14 game between the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-5 against the New England Patriots coming to town at 2-10. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, also subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. But to preview this game, obviously it's not going to be the most exciting primetime game or Steelers game you've ever watched, but you never know what could happen. Of course, to start with this Patriots offense, of course, they have been just miserable this year, worse than Pittsburgh, if you can believe that. They've been shut out twice this season, which has not happened to them in a single season since 1992. In that year, Bill Belichick beat the Patriots 1917 as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. So it's been a while. They're on backup quarterback turned starter Bailey Zappi to replace Mac Jones. Their top running back, Ramondre Stevenson, talented runner, is out. They're missing top receivers. We know they're bad. I mean, we know the numbers on that. We don't have to really harp on that too much. What concerns me, and it's not much, but it's one key thing, are their tight ends in Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki, the former Dolphin. Now, those guys don't have huge numbers this year because of just how miserable the passing offense has been. Henry does have 3 touchdowns, though, but I just look at, if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm trying to find something to lean on, something to exploit that Steelers defense with. It has to be the tight ends because, A, their running backs are hurt, their starting back is hurt, their receivers are hurt, no Kendrick Bourne, no Pop Douglas, they don't really have anyone else threatening there. But there's some talent at tight end. And of course, Pittsburgh's defense had a lot of issue with Trey McBride, the tight end of the Cardinals. Last weekend, he had a big day, had a touchdown. And so I think they're going to attack the tight ends. Pittsburgh hurting an inside linebacker as of this recording, which is very late on Thursday. Landon Roberts questionable, been limited throughout practice. I don't know if he's going to go, but even if he does, with a groin injury on a short week like that, you're going to attack that if you're New England. So I think they're going to go after the Pittsburgh's defense with their tight ends and see what they can do there. Just a quick note on their run game. Ezekiel Elliott will be their starting running back, their workhorse for this game. Not a big play guy, long run of 17 yards this year, but I don't think he's looking completely washed. He's not the explosive guy he was in his prime in Dallas, but he's got leg drive, he's got some power. The run game for New England doesn't concern me greatly if Pittsburgh just does their job. It's more of a power downhill type run game, and Pittsburgh tends to be pretty strong against that overall. And of course, if Roberts does not play, how do the inside backers play? What that even looks like is hard to say. It'll be Michael Walker, Blake Martinez, Miles Jack. Frankly, I'm not sure how exactly they're going to set things up. I expect one of Martinez and or Jack to see serious playing time in this game, regardless of who's healthy and who's not. But again, it goes back to the tight ends being the concern for me. Defensively, for as bad of a season as the Patriots are having, that defense is decent, and their run defense is excellent. It's the number 1 run defense in football, New England's is, in terms of yards per carry allowed at 3.2. They don't allow big plays. They allow the fewest explosive plays in the run game. And what does Pittsburgh do well? Kind of the one thing they can hang their hat on offensively, it's run the ball. So you're facing the number 1 run defense right now, and Pittsburgh's going to have to find a way to run the ball. And Pat Meyer, the O-line coach, and Eddie Faulkner, the running back coach / interim offensive coordinator, is going to have to come up with a really good game plan of how to run the ball. Pittsburgh's run game has been fantastic the last 5 weeks, rushing for $130 plus, and I thought even against Arizona, they were running the ball well when they could until the game got away in the second half, and they really couldn't run the ball, obviously, all that effectively or all that often anymore. But what is the game plan? It's a really strong front 7 for the Patriots. Barmore in the middle, assuming that he plays. I believe that he will. He's a tough guy, and Pittsburgh's hurting along the interior with Mason Cole, Isaac Seumalo struggling, or not struggling, but dealing with injuries. They're questionable. I don't know if Seumalo's going to play. My guess is Cole will play, but there's no guarantee right now of their availability and their health. And so Barmore's eating blocks in the middle. Got a really good old school linebacker in Juwan Bentley, 250, 60-pound dude that's going to come downhill and hit you. If Pittsburgh struggles to run the ball, it's going to be a long day, obviously. So, they're going to have to run the ball. They have to be committed to running the ball, but the scheme and the plan they use will be interesting to watch. The secondary for New England, a little bit weaker overall, but there's still talent. Jonathan Jones, he's back healthy. I've been a fan of him. J.C. Jackson's a pedigree guy, having a tough couple of years overall since he signed with the Chargers and then came back to New England. Mitch Trubisky getting the start for Pittsburgh. comes down to him. Can Pittsburgh clean up their mistakes and just the fundamental problems they had against Arizona in terms of just personnel and snapping the football, aligning correctly, just bare bones basic type stuff. With Trubisky, the story with him is he wants to be aggressive, wants to push the ball downfield. I get that, but he's got to walk that line between being aggressive and picking your spots to be aggressive in, but also not, being reckless and being over aggressive. And too many times before, Trubisky's come off a game in Pittsburgh or other places and said, yeah, I probably was a little too aggressive or over aggressive. That happened against Baltimore last year, for example, against Jacksonville earlier this year, throwing a pick in the middle of the field. So just towing that line, Trubisky's never gotten a great feel for that, and that's a concern in this game because Pittsburgh is a team that cannot turn the ball over and expect to win a bunch of games. All right, my prediction in this one, and I was very confident about the Cardinals game last week, in which I was very wrong about, so I will be a little cautious this time around. I'll pick Pittsburgh to win, but barely, 17-14 in overtime. Yes, you have to watch 5 quarters of this game, and Al Michaels, I'm sure, will be loving that to stay up till 11:30 to watch this kind of game. So you take a win however you can get it. You cannot lose this game. I know must win probably gets tossed around too often, but to drop to 7-6, to lose to 2-10 teams in back-to-back weeks, to have a long 9-week layoff or 9-day wake off, it may be that long because you're going to miss the playoffs, but 9-day layoff to watch the AFC pass you by as Cleveland's in the mix and Indy's very much in the mix and Houston and Denver. It's a really tight wild card race, and if you're 7-6, the division certainly is basically gone at this point. That even right now, it's going to be very difficult to win the AFC North. Baltimore's got probably like an 85% chance to do so. But all those things combined, the locker room that may fracture and the frustration that'll happen if this loss occurs, you just cannot lose this game. So, take a win however you can get it, but I'm going to have an ugly prediction, go back to typical low-scoring, kind of miserable football overall. Hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe this is the week that Pittsburgh locks back in and bounces back, but 17-14 Pittsburgh in overtime. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Give me your score prediction as well. I want to hear, do you have a close game? Have the Patriots winning, which at this point wouldn't be the craziest thing to assume, although I think most people are still picking the Pittsburgh Steelers, including myself. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll have a bunch of recap for you guys. I'll have a late night or early morning recap of the Pats game after it concludes, of course. And then we'll have some time to go into the All-22 and review this game, hopefully in a win. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.